Today I'd like to speak to you about veganism. I'm sick and tired of hearing the vegans expounding on their lovely way of eating as being very natural and very healthful. Well, I'm here to tell you that none of this is true. First of all, the vegans like to point out to our close relatives, the gorillas and the chimpanzees, and tell us, you see, the gorilla and the chimpanzees are our closest relative, and they are not meat eaters. Well, gorillas might be completely vegetarian or vegan, although they have been noticed to eat snails and slugs from time to time when food is inadequate. But chimpanzees, which are actually closer to us, based on our DNA, which we share about 98 or 99.4% of our DNA, as opposed to the gorilla, which is only about 97%, chimpanzees are closer to us in evolutionary terms. They are our closer cousin. And in fact, they do eat meat, and they go on regular hunting expeditions to obtain it. Not only do they eat meat, you can say they're cannibals, because they will eat other monkeys and even their own kind from a different troop. Jane Goodall has documented this, and so has David Attenborough. Get a load of this clip to see how chimpanzees like their meat. Nice and fresh and nice and raw.
The top one. The hunters are tearing it apart.
Now, the vegans love to say how a properly planned vegan meal is just as adequate in nutrients and vitamins as an omnivorous meal, as most people eat. And maybe they will point out, well, B12 is the only thing we have to supplement with. You know, they would put a B12 in their soy milk and all that other crap that they eat, like tofu. The fact that B12 only comes from animal sources should give us a clue as to why it is an unnatural way of eating. B12 is essential to the nervous system, and if it only comes from animal sources, you should get a clue that you need to eat some animal products. But the myth that only B12 is the vitamin that is lacking is not true. There are other vitamins that are very lacking in a vegan diet. You have riboflavin, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, B12, vitamin D, selenium, iodine, calcium, and some little known but very essential nutrients such as carnosine or carnosine, L-carnitine, or again L-carnitine. These are also very good antioxidants as well. And one of the big ones, omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These are also lacking in a vegan diet. So again, the vegans are incorrect in thinking that only B12 is the vitamin they have to worry about. Unless you're prepared to eat like a cow or spend hundreds of dollars on supplements, I don't think vegan is a very healthy or even logical way to. Talking about, again, the vegans claim that they have a higher longevity. Well, again, that may be true of vegans and vegetarians in general. And maybe so for vegetarians who, again, will incorporate some animal products, eggs, dairy, or fish into their diets. Might be true of vegetarians. And let's keep in mind that vegans and vegetarians have already embarked on a healthier lifestyle. So most likely they don't smoke, and they don't drink, and they do regular exercise. All of those three things contribute to longevity. The oldest vegans, I'm trying to get a group picture of a group of octogenarian vegans. I can't seem to get a group of octogenarian vegans. Those are people in their 80s, for those who don't know what an octogenarian is. I'd like to get a group photo like this one. Where's a vegan group photo like this? I'd like to see that. Now, Donald Watson, the inventor of the term vegan, and the founder of the movement, who I believe invented in 1944 the word vegan, Donald Watson, he lived to 95. And that's pretty impressive. Here's a picture of him. Although I think that's an impressive age to get to. He doesn't look too good. I prefer this 85-year-old grandmother who lifts weights and is most certainly not a vegan to Mr. Donald Watson. Let's take a look at her. Another founder of the vegan movement, Herbert Shelton, very famous in the vegan movement. Let's take a look at him. Very interesting indeed. And the founder of the American Vegan Society, J. Dinshaw. I'm not very impressed with that number. Almost forgot, another vegan guru, T.C. Fry. Now I will agree that the way our livestock is being raised is absolutely appalling. There is no need, well, there is a need if you want gigantic profits, and that's why they do it, to inject our animal food with antibiotics, hormones, and it certainly is not necessary to corral them and treat them in this manner. There is absolutely no necessity for it. And cows don't eat corn. That is not their food. Cows are supposed to eat grass and hay and alfalfa. That is their food. Which, by the way, if they were fed a natural diet, they would have higher amounts of omega-3 in their fat, in the fat in the meat, and higher amounts of CLA, otherwise known as conjugated linoleic acid. And I personally buy grass-fed and organic beef whenever I can get it. And speaking of famous vegans, I understand Betty White is a vegan. I believe she's 85. Of course, I can't find a link to when she became a vegan. Or maybe she's a vegetarian. She's looking pretty good at her age, speaking of old vegans. But I want to show you a few other famous vegan and vegetarians. Vegans, don't call your lifestyle natural. Don't call it healthy. Don't call it a way of living or a philosophy. It's neither. Veganism is a religion. Just like religion, it's based on faith and emotion, not on reason, not on facts, and certainly not on the science. Now you all have a marvelous day while I enjoy this delicious organic buffalo wing. That's good.